pipeline on the north shore of Oahu. It's one of the deadliest and most challenging waves in the world. Guys really started riding it in the 60s. Butch Van Artsdale on big boards, and it was just a matter of making that drop and trying to make the wave. But as equipment improved, the surfing got better out there, and it became about getting deeper and deeper inside the tube. And it's guys go, oh, it must have been so uncrowded back then, have empty pipeline. Well, pipeline was always kind of crowded because there's only so many of the really good waves out there. Look at that, just spinning pipeline. There's Sean Thompson. So in the earlier days, we rode bigger boards out there, and the big challenge with pipeline was making the drop. There's always been girls on the beach. Nothing's changed. There's Billy Blankenfield getting a ride there. But the challenge became on the backside to make the drop. Even on the front side, you had to make the drop. Here's Jerry Lopez. He was the king of pipeline, and even back in his heyday, you think, oh, Jerry just got any wave he wanted. Here he is sandwiched between two guys. He didn't always get any wave he wanted, but Jerry emerged as probably the greatest pipeline surfer ever, winning 2 pipeline masters in the early 70s. Here he is getting dropped in on again. Even Jerry had to share waves out there. But the Surfing World Tour really started to take shape in the later 70s and traveled around the world. A lot of the waves weren't great, but then we came back to the North Shore of Oahu. This is 1982 Pipeline Masters. We were at Jerry's house. Jerry's house was the hangout spot. Michael Ho had gone to town and fractured his wrist the night before the event. The waves were pumping, big spinning barrels at Pipeline. And the finals were going to be on. I missed out on the final, but it looked, I think, we had Mark Richards, Sean Thompson, Hans Hedemann, Michael Ho. Oh, guys were getting beatings even back then. And so these guys were in the final. And the setup at the Pipe House there, Hans and Michael conferring about the finals they were getting ready to paddle out into. And there's Hans's quiver. Everybody had their quiver. A lot bigger boards back then were being ridden. And Jeff Devine, world famous photographer, was there. All the guys ready for the big show, the Offshore Pipeline Masters. It was televised, you could see by, I believe, Wide World of Sports. And there's Michael getting ready, Brian Surratt there coaching him, helping him. Michael had a lot of help in his corner. There's Mark Richards. Who else can we see there? Randy Rarick. It's on the beach giving out the jerseys. You guys can paddle out for a 30-minute final. And guys started trying to ride through the tube at the Pipeline. Game on, Hans from deep. Backside attack. Ooh, can't make that one. Might have needed to pull into that one. It's tricky. There's Sean not making the drop. See those big boards? It was difficult. We didn't just grab the rail and make the drop. You had to actually make the drop and turn, so it was a lot trickier. Michael Ho stuffing into a nice little barrel. You can see the cast on his right hand there. Hans trying to get in the barrel. Just not quite getting quite as deep. Michael learned that grab rail technique early on. There's Jerry up in the 3rd floor directing where the waves are going to be. Sean getting donuts. Here we got Hans riding tight but not really in the barrel. You need to get in to get that good score. Here we got Mark Richards. He had won the Pipeline 2 years earlier. One of the best surfers in the world, 4-time world champion, trying to get in there. Let's see who's that. Mark Richards doing some turns. It looks like Sean getting a little cover up and just not quite as deep as what the judges wanted to see. Here we got Michael. Oh, getting hammered on that. Might have been able to make that. Sean going down hard. It was a challenging, tricky wave. Here's Mark Richards. Sweeping turn in the pocket. Not much coverage there. Nice turns. And then we got Hans making an effort. Hans had a good heat going, getting some good rides, not the deep barrels. Here we got Mark Richards again. Ooh, paying the price for that one. Mark Richards again, another one. Let's see, can he get covered? Oh, it's not that easy to get covered. Sean Thompson found a little cover up, and then Michael Ho found this wave from the outside. Grab rail, gone. Boom, the crowd goes wild, and that is game over. Michael Ho, winner of the 1982 Pipeline Masters.